Yeah, it's been a real tough afternoon as far as the Yamahas are concerned. Their highest contender at the moment, Quartararo in 14th place. Crashes for Quartararo and Oliveira on fluid in the early part of this session, which briefly brought out the red flags. A big technical issue for Jack Miller. Miller, Oliveira and Rins, 18th, 19th and 20th respectively on the leaderboard. Bagnaia, surely he will be thinking the 128.385. His job done in terms of his place directly into tomorrow morning's Q2 session. Work to be done though for the pair of Gresini Ducatis, because Alex Marquez certainly not safe in 9th. It was only a couple of minutes ago that Alex was as high as 4th, wasn't it? Aldeguer, he certainly needs to find a whole chunk of time, doesn't he? The Spanish rider. He's down in 16th place at the moment. Here is the 73 bike then in the hands of Alex. Once again looking to fire himself back up into P4. He's been there previously in this session. We'll track him over the line now, second in the World Championship, and he duly obliges by finding a 128.538, which does push Alex back up into P4.
Yeah, he gets ahead of Joan Mir, who's now 5th, Zarco 6th, Marini still hanging on to that final top 10 place, but is Fermin Aldeguer about to threaten that? He needs a 28.9 or better to get himself into the top 10, and Aldeguer cannot get himself into the 28. 29.1 only moves Aldeguer up to 14th place. 3 minutes for the rookie to change that. At the moment, the rookie still in the headlines is Ayagura.
A 14th place, which was briefly in the hands of Rins on the factory Yamaha. So it is now Rins who is leading the Iwata Challenge. This is on board with Bezzecchi. Just off there in the distance is his factory Aprilia teammate Martin. It's tandem right leg dangles, isn't it? That's the Costa, I think, going off-roading once again. Is it, or was it Bastianini? It's been real messy, hasn't it? A scrappy final 20 minutes for Bastianini. He was just desperate there to try and go with Bezzecchi, I think, just to get a bit of a reference. But he's been sort of in the gravel as much as he's been on the tarmac, hasn't he, in the last 20 minutes of this session as the beast.
Well, at the moment he is still on course for Q2. He sits 9th. Alex Marquez about to get himself potentially up into the top 3 with this one as he improves still further. The 73 moves up 1 plate, up ahead of his brother into 3rd, although Marc Marquez could be about to nudge the 27s if he keeps this lap going.
Yeah, I think Marc is just about to gate crash the KTM Acosta Friday party here in Spielberg. Fermin Aldeguer over the line, he comes 14th up to 8th. That could be a big time, that from Aldeguer. Talking of big times, well, he always delivers on the big stage, doesn't he? Over the line Marc comes, and of course it's P1. He was fastest this morning with a 129.376. and he has stolen back P1 in practice this afternoon, a 128.117, 3/10 clear of anybody this morning, and nearly a quarter of a second clear of everybody else this afternoon.
Nothing at this stage then that Pedro Acosta can do about that. What about the factory Aprilias then? Ayagura is still hanging on. Bezzecchi won't be getting himself in the top 10 with that one because he's in the gravel at turn 4, clearly riding beyond the limit of that Aprilia to get into the top 10. Bezzecchi still down in 18th place on a 29.4. He needs half a second to get into the top 10 as Martin now carves through on Jack Miller. Is Martin going to potentially get his Aprilia somewhere near the top 10?
Ralph Fernandez, superb. There's been a real transformation of late, hasn't there, for Ralph Fernandez? He is pumped, with some justification. P5 for Fernandez.
Well,
Martin's run wide at 9. A big fist on the tank there from Martin, which at the moment he's in big danger of missing out on Q2. Fernandez then goes 5th with a 128.519. Now, one of the Trackhouse Aprilia riders buzzing. Oh, I was just about to say both Trackhouse Aprilias are going to be in Q2, but Brad Binder's just changed that picture because he's just snatched 10th place. Agura was briefly 10th. He's now back in 12th.
Yeah, so it's Marquez, Acosta, Bagnaia, your top 3. Then it's Alex Marquez, Ralph Fernandez and Mir, Morbidelli, Zarco, Aldeguer and Binder. Your top 10. Bastianini just did improve again to a 28.8, but that's not enough for the top 10. Jorge Martin has one more shot at this, but his first sector is not particularly special.
We could see Quartararo was really pushing abusing that Michelin front tire on the factory Yamaha up the hill into the slowest part of the Spielberg track. That was turn 3. Martin then 15th, Bezzecchi 18th. We talked, didn't we? History has not been kind to Aprilia here in Spielberg. The stop-and-go nature has been sort of a bit of kryptonite as far as the RSGP has been over the last few years. Martin was close to track limit there, wasn't he? Coming down through 6 and 7. Fast and flowing tracks, no problem at all as far as Aprilia's concerned. Martin was too close to track limits. This lap has gone, so he's in Q1.
Quartararo might be joining him unless he can do something truly special in this final sector. Marini's trying to recover his place in the top 10, which was taken away from him in the last couple of minutes. So ignore Martin, he's going to cross the line first. Be right on board with Quartararo, only 14th. Marini 13th, a 28.9, not enough.
And Bezzecchi's in Q1 as well. Did not see that coming. We know that Austria never been one of sort of Aprilia's strongholds, but I don't think anybody could see Martin's 16th. Bezzecchi in a really lowly 18th place. He's just taken the checker flag as well. A pretty miserable afternoon here in Spielberg for the Nuali factory. It started in pretty poor fashion when Martin hit the deck on his out lap at turn 9. It didn't really get much better, did it, as far as Aprilia are concerned? No problems, no dramas though once again. It's been a perfect Friday in Austria. Oh, hey, Martin. Shocking practice start there on the exit of turn 1. But Marc Marquez, fastest this morning. Crikey, that was a bit close. With Fabio Di Gianantonio, as those two drop the clutch on the factory Ducatis. Well, Raul Fernandez equalled his best ever MotoGP result last time out in Brno with 5th place. We're just going to watch this replay as Fabio Di Gianantonio's front wheel goes skywards. Well, there was a bit of elbow rubbing there between Marc Marquez and the Italian. Yeah, look at that. Di Gianantonio going vertical with that front tyre. But Raul Fernandez is loving life at the moment, isn't he? On the track out of Aprilia. 5th fast. Aldeguer did lead briefly as well in that session, didn't he? Just missing out in 12th place.